Good morning. We're going to be reading the fourth comic book of the collection Classics Illustrated Junior, number 4, and it's called The Pied Piper. Pied Piper. This is the cover. The Pied Piper. Once upon a time, in the small but wealthy town of Hamelin, a stranger with a wondrously magical pipe taught the rich but stupid townspeople a terrible, terrible lesson. To this day, the people of Hamelin town are not allowed to forget what happened on the 22nd day of July in 1376. The marketplace in Hamelin town was always filled with gay folk. They came with fat purses and left with basket-loads of great cheeses, sweet fruits, and wines from every part of Europe. The mayor himself would often come to buy fine foods for his banquets. Usually, his son, Franz, came with him. Franz was what we would call a spoiled brat. He was always teasing poor, lamely Willie. Lame Willie. Oh, yay, lame Willie, look so silly, you'll never catch that cat. Haha, I told you. It isn't funny, just because you're the mayor's son. Suddenly, from beneath a market stall, a giant rat rushed over the fallen Willie. And then, from out of nowhere, a whole great army of rats invaded the marketplace. Help! Save the food! Save us! But there was no place to hide from the rats in the homes of the rich. Get them out of here. Stop bellowing. What can I do? And in the homes of the poor, they're eating all our winter's food, mother. Someone will help us, dear. Just keep after them. Rats. They fouled the dogs and killed the cats, and beat the babes in their cradles, and ate the cheese out of the vats, and licked the soup from the cook's own ladles, split open the kegs of salted spreads, made nests inside men's Sunday hats, and even spoiled a woman's chests by drowning their speaking with shrinking and squeaking and 50 different sharps and flats. Frightened and angry, at their wits' end, the people flocked to the town hall. Where's the mayor? Why don't they do something? Where are the councilmen? Down with the mayor. Down with the councilmen. To think we pay these fools to buy goons lined with ermine, and they can't even think of a way to rid us of these pests. Come on, use your brains, get rid of those rats, or we'll send you packing. We'll lose our jobs for sure. And maybe our necks too. Think. Oh, for a trap. And just at that moment, tap, tap, tap. What's that? Anything like the sound of a rat makes me jump. Come in. Into the room came the strangest figure that anyone had ever seen. Please, your honors, I have come from afar to help you. I'm able by means of magic charm to make all living creatures that creep, swim, crawl, or run follow me wherever I go. So what? I specialize in pests. I have rid many a town and palace of toads, snakes, and rats. Last June, in Tartary, I freed the Chem from the huge swarms of gnats. And in Asia, I freed the Nizam from a monstrous brood of vampire bats. Out in the street, there's a wonderful stranger who speaks of magic. He says he can help us. Hooray! But does he have a trap? But inside, he's just a poor beggar, coming to get warm. Look at his clothes. They must be 100 years old. Don't listen to him. How can you prove these deeds you boast of? I will prove it for 1,000 guilders. 1,000 guilders to blow on a pipe? Nonsense. Faker, get out of this town. And don't come back unless you can bring me a trap. Do you hear? A trap. When the people saw the Pied Piper drum out of the town hall, they too gave chase. After him, beggar thief! Why are we chasing him? Because the councilman chased him. But why were the councilmen chasing him? Well, I don't know exactly. Didn't he do something wrong? And go home and kill our own rats. That's about all we can do. The mayor's gone home himself. He still can think of any way to help us. Piper, Piper, don't be afraid of me. They don't believe you can work a magic charm, but I do. Why do you believe, little friend? Because my mother said someone would come to help us, and you must be he. You look cold and hungry, Mr. Piper. Would you like to come home with me for supper? You're a good boy, and your mother must be a wise woman. Thank you. I'll come. How foolish the mayor was. He should have let you try to rid us of the rats. Wait, he'll let me. You'll wait and see. Days passed, and still no one invented a trap to rid the town of Hamelin from rats. Meanwhile, Franz, the mayor's son, found his own way to escape the gnawing pests. Come down, son, please. Come down, you'll fall. Not until father gets rid of those rats. Oh dear, my poor brain. I can think of a thing to do. Across the square, in the smith's shop. Here, you miserable beast. Stay away from my paying customers. The rat went flying straight from Franz, and formed a new fur collar for the elegant mayor's son. This is the last straw. Hell, bring me the beggar, that whatever he is. The Pied Piper. Yes, bring back the Piper. We want the Piper. Did somebody call me? 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 guilders. I'll pay you. Get rid of these rats. 50,000, yes, 50,000. I will accept your offer. As the Piper stepped forth, a hush fell over the town square. He can't. 3 sweet clear notes filled the air. And in every cellar, attic, and pantry, the rats stopped nibbling and pricked up their ears. Oh, what do I smell? The cheesiest cheeses, the sweetest apples, the saltiest butter. Wheat. The wonderful sounds from the magical pipe brought marvelous visions to all the rats. They saw cities of cheese, wheat, and showers of wheat, and delicious pools of pickles, and best of all, the cedar seemed to flow like the river Weser. Then there was a sound like an army muttering, and the muttering grew to a grumbling, and the grumbling grew to a mighty rumbling, and out of the houses the rats came tumbling, great rats, small rats, lean rats, brown rats, grave old plotters, gay young friskers, fathers, mothers, uncles, cousins, cocking tails and pricking whiskers, families by tens and dozens, brothers, sisters, husbands, wives followed the Piper for their lives. From street to street he piped advancing, and step for step they followed dancing, until they came to the river Weser, wherein all plunged and perished. Freed at last from the plague of rats, the people of Hamelin town rejoiced. No more rats! The mayor found a way! Hooray for the mayor! You see, my father thought of a way to get rid of the rats. Your father, what did he do? It was a difficult decision to make, my friends, but no job is too hard for your mayor when his people need his help. Now we must get to work. Block up the rat holes, destroy the nests. Not a trace must be left of the pests. But, your honor, aren't you forgetting me? 1,000 guilders? 1,000 guilders? I never said 1,000 guilders. No, you promised me to pay 50,000, but 1,000 is my price. I'll take it now. Nonsense. I never heard of such a thing. I must call a meeting of the council. We'll decide what to do about you. The councilmen met to discuss a way to save their 1,000 guilders. After all, that much money would buy enough wine to refill their wine cellars, and you can have a council dinner without the finest wines. Mother. Yes, that we do. Well, gentlemen, we'll pay you 50 guilders, that is all. 1,000 no less, or you will be sorry. Sorry, why? The rats are dead. I saw them drown with my own eyes. You can bring them back to life. I give you one more chance to pay. Quickly, I must go to read the Caliph's Kitchens of Scorpions. I haven't much time. Well, go then, beggar. How dare you speak to your betters like that? Piper, did they pay your fee? No, but they will pay just the same, you see. People of Hamlin Town, the Pied Piper has saved us from the dreadful rats. Are we so ungrateful that we will not pay him? That's for the mayor to decide. We have no money. What can we do about it? I haven't much, but what I have is yours. Keep your coins, good woman, they will pay, but you must not worry. What will you do? I will play my pipe again. Once more the magical pipe was raised to the piper's lips. 3 long low, mellow notes danced over the town. Well, let him blow his silly pipe. Who is he charming this time? The cats? The dogs? The birds? The pigs? No, none of this. This time the Pied Piper played to the children of Hamlin Town. And into their minds came a beautiful picture of a lovely, bright, new land where every child was a princess or a prince, where good things to eat grew on the trees, and the animals spoke like people, and where nobody told them what to do. One of the first to answer the piper's call was Franz, the mayor's son, and Willie, the lame boy, could not resist the call. I mustn't be afraid. The piper told me not to worry. And out of each and every home in Hamelin the children came, lured by the mystical music of the pipe. Small feet came pattering, wooden shoes clattering, little hands clapping, and little tongues chattering, and like fowls in a farm yard when barley is scattering, out came the children running, all the little boys and girls, with rosy cheeks and flaxen curls, and sparkling eyes and teeth like pearls, tripping and skipping, ran merrily after the wonderful music with shouting and laughter. The mayor and the councilman watched in silence as the children danced merrily after the Pied Piper. Where is he leading them? To the river. They will drown like the rats. Hurry, hurry, before it's too late. Tell him we'll pay him the 1,000 guilders, our children. Send a runner quickly. Tell him we'll pay 10,000, 20,000, 50. But the children were not afraid. They had never been so happy. Even friends and Willie became good friends. The piper is the most wonderful man in all the world. Just as they reached the river's edge, the piper changed his tune, and the dancing line of children turned sharply away from the river. Thank heaven, he isn't going to drown them. Now where? He's turned away from the river. They're headed from Koppelberg Hill. Good. He'll never get across that high mountain. We can't stop them there. Meanwhile, poor Willie found it hard to keep up with the others. The steep sides of the mountain were too much for his lame leg. Up, up, toward the clouds climbed the merry piper and his happy followers. You'll have to stop. They can go up the face of that cliff. Suddenly, the sides of the mountain opened like a giant door, and into the darkness of a huge cavern, it's still playing his wonderful magical tune. The piper led his band of singing children. Into the very heart of the mountain went all the sons and daughters of Hamelin, all but one. All but Willie, who arrived at the cavern just as the sun swung shut behind his playmates. Wait! They have gone to the most beautiful land in the world, where they will be happy as long as they live, while I must stay behind just because I'm lame. Friends, my son, I'll never see him again. Our children, Willie, Willie. Oh, Willie, don't be sad because you didn't go with them. I couldn't have lived without you. You're right, mother. The piper loved you because you believed in him. That's why he didn't take me away from you. The sorrowful people returned to the empty streets of Hamelin, where their children's voices would never again be heard. It was his fault. He should have kept his promise. No, we're all to blame. None of us was willing to pay the piper. Now it's too late. this goes the only child left in Hamlin. Where is he hurrying? What is he carrying under his arm? This is to make us all remember that down the street our children were led because we made a promise we didn't keep. Pied Piper Street. Before the cavern where their children disappeared, the people of Hamlin carved their sad story in stone. And just to be sure that no one ever forgot their sad lesson, their story was told again on a beautiful stained glass window in the great church of Hamlin Town. Sing a song of sixpence, sing a song of sixpence, a pot full of rye, 24 blackbirds, baked in a pie. When the pie was opened, the bird began to sing. Wasn't that a dainty dish to set before the king? The king was in the country counting house, counting out his money. The queen was in the parlor, eating bread and honey. The maid was in the garden, hanging out the clothes, when down came a blackbird and snipped off her nose. Okay, so we just finished the main story. It ended here, and here we have just like a song, and here talking about a random animal. We can tell the African elephant from his Indian cousin by his huge ears. He's a bad-tempered fellow and is rarely ever trained. The Indian elephant is a friend of man. He's often used as a beast of burden. His wonderful trunk can pick up a heavy log on a tiny needle. In the jungles of Africa and India, we find the largest and strongest land animal in the world. He's the elephant, full grown. He often reaches the weight of 5 tons, 10,000 pounds. Elephants were hunted for their huge ivory tusks, which grow as long as 11 feet and weigh over 200 pounds. So many were killed that now they are under government protection. Elephants are to be found in almost every circus in the world. In spite of their huge size, they can easily be taught to do many tricks. Children love to watch them. Okay, thank you very much. We have just finished. So bye bye.